Hello children, a very good morning to all of you. I am the physics tutor, Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Ramakrishnan. Today, I'll be covering the chapter Kinetic Theory of Gases. Before that, I'll briefly run through how to access the revision notes and test in the Play6 website. First of all, go to the play6.com. There, this is the home page. Click on practice. You have different packages. Select NEET Premium. There you have the revision notes. Click on that. The revision notes is basically the different concepts and the important formula which we have summarized for all the three subjects, physics, chemistry, and biology. You can as well access this. See, right from the first chapter to the last chapter, we have done everything. So it is enough if you remember all these formulas, go through all these concepts and remember all the concepts and the important tips which we have given you to crack the NEET exams. It will be very useful for you. After going through all the NEET notes of everything, today I said I'll go with kinetic theory of gases. Quickly, let us access what are the important concepts we have to know in this particular chapter. All right. PV is equal to mu RT. This is a very important equation. The first equation in the kinetic theory of gases. PV is equal to, where P is the pressure, V is the volume, R is the gas constant, and T is the temperature. Mu R is the gas constant there. R is the gas constant. U is the number of molecules. PV is equal to 1 by 3 Nm V RMS square, where V RMS is nothing but the root mean square velocity. So PV is equal to 1 by 3 Nm, where M stands for the mass, N the number of molecules, V RMS is the velocity at RMS velocity of the gas. P is also equal to, so all the three formulae you need to know. P is equal to 1 by 3 rho V RMS squared, where rho is the density. So you will have to see which the data, look into the data, analyze the question properly and look into the data. According to the data given, you'll have to apply the formula. You have three formulae. So look into what is being given and then whether if it is now going to be related with temperature, you can apply the first formula. If it is something related to RMS velocity and number of molecules, then you can go with the second formula. And if it is now going to be the density and RMS velocity, you can go with the third formula. So quickly access what is being given. Analyze yourself, then then apply the formula. Total kinetic energy of the gas is equal to N into half M V RMS square, where N stands for the number of molecules, M for mass, and V RMS is nothing but the RMS velocity. Energy of the gas is given by E is equal to 3 by 2 PV. Again, you have two formula, whichever, look into the data and then apply the formula correctly. Kinetic energy per unit volume is equal to 3 by 2 PV, where P stands for velocity, pressure, and V the volume. Now, what is root mean square velocity? All these while we were talking about this root mean square velocity. V RMS is nothing but root of 3 PV by M, where P stands for pressure, V for volume, and M for mass. Also, but you know, V by M is nothing but rho. So you can, if the density is given, you can as well substitute this formula, which is equal to root of 3P by rho, which is also equal to root of 3 RT by MW. So if the temperature is given, you can as well substitute this formula, which is also, so if suppose T and mass, where temperature and the mass are now given, then you can take it as 3 kT by M. Now R is equal to NA K and MW is equal to M into NA, where Na is the number of atoms present in the gas. And it is clear that you can always see that Vrms is proportional to root of T. Vrms is directly proportional to root of T. Again, children, the weightage of this particular lesson is 1%. So you can expect one question from this. It will be mostly graphical or theoretical question. So you'll have to be thorough with more than the formula. You'll have to be thorough with the degrees of freedom and everything, and the concepts and the you'll have to be very thorough with the concepts and the theory in this particular lesson. So because most of the questions are now going to be theoretical and graphical, so you'll have to be very thorough with the concepts. So always you can quickly go through the revision notes, take all the values or remember all the formulae, and then attempt the test. That will be really useful. Most probable speed Vmp is given by root of 2 RT by mv, where R stands for gas constant, T is the temperature, M is the mass, and V is the velocity, which is equal to 2 by 3 Vrms, and that has been experimentally found to be 0.816 times Vrms. V average velocity is equal to root of 8 by 3 pi times RMS velocity. V average is equal to root of 8 by 3 pi times V RMS velocity, which is equal to 0.92 times V RMS velocity. Now you all know Cp minus Cv is equal to R, the molar specific heat at constant volume and constant pressure. Energy associated with each degree of freedom. This is very, very important. For monoatomic gases, diatomic gases, and triatomic gases, or polyatomic gases, it's very, very important, because each time you can't keep calculating, you'll have to memorize this so that you can directly apply it. So energy associated with each degree of freedom is equal to half kT. Monoatomic gas, F, for the monoatomic gas, F is equal to 3, where F stands for the number of degrees of freedom of the system. Okay, F stands for the number of degrees of freedom of the system. So for monoatomic gas, F is 3 and gamma is equal to pi by 3, where gamma is the ratio of the specific heats. Diatomic gas, F is equal to 5 and gamma is equal to 7 by 5. And for polyatomic gas, F is equal to 7 and gamma is equal to 4 by 3. Remember, F stands for number of degrees of freedom. The internal energy for mu moles, suppose there are now going to be mu number of moles, then you can say V is equal to mu times 4 by 2 RT, where mu is the number of moles, F is the number of degrees of freedom by 2 into RT. Now you know gamma is equal to Cp by Cv. So Cv is equal to R by gamma minus 1, and Cv is equal to Cv is the specific heat capacity at constant volume, and Cp is the specific heat capacity at constant pressure. So Cv is equal to R by gamma minus 1 and Cp is equal to gamma R by R minus 1. Note the difference. Equivalent molar mass M is equal to mu1 M1 plus mu2 M2 by mu1 plus mu2, where mu stands for number of moles. If we take the mass of the first gas and M2 is going to be the mass of the second gas, then it is now going to be the equivalent molar mass is going to be given by. So mu1 will be the number of moles in gas 1 and mu2 will be the number of moles in gas 2. So apply the formula mu1 M1 plus mu2 M2 by mu1 plus Cv for mixtures. If it is now going to be mixture of gases, then it is now going to be mu1 Cv1 plus mu2 Cv2 by mu1 plus mu2. Gamma for mixture of gases, mu1 by R1 minus, gamma 1 minus 1 plus mu2 by gamma 2 minus 1. Remember, mu1 is going to be, mu is now going to be the number of molecules, number of moles. If it is now going to be the mixture of 1 or 2 gases, then you take 2 gases, then you say mu1 is now going to be the number of moles for the first gas, and mu2 is now going to be the molar moles for number of moles for the second gas. Now Van der Waals equation, this you would have come across in chemistry also. Van der Waals gas equation for mu, that is gram mole. It is now given by P plus mu squared A by B squared into B minus mu B by is equal to mu RT, where P stands for pressure, mu the number of moles, A is a constant, A and B are arbitrary constants, V is the volume, and R is the gas constant, and T is the temperature. This is an important formula which you have to remember, which is common for both physics and chemistry. So we have briefly gone through the important formulae and concepts. Now let us quickly go to the test. Click on the physics part there. We have number of tests for, see, you can see so many tests are there. You can as well, 102 tests are there, chapter wise tests. The green bubble says you have not taken the test, and the red one says it is a random test. Green one says you have already taken the test. Even if you have taken the test, you can take it any number of times. If you're not satisfied with your results, you can as well go to the NEET notes, revision notes, and then make yourself thorough with the concepts again and again, and then take the test again more than once. And then until you're thorough with the concepts, you can go on repeating the test again and again. So finally, you can take the full test. After you have gone through all the chapter wise tests, you can go to the NEET full test, where you have all the three, for all the three, for the physics, chemistry and biology NEET full tests. That also we have a lot of tests. See, you can, we have, go to NEET premium. We have physics, chemistry, biology, and the NEET full tests. Now click on the physics test. I'm going to go with the first test, kinetic theory of gases. Take the test. Read the question carefully every time you attempt the test. 1 mole of a monoatomic ideal gas is mixed with 2 moles of a diatomic gas. What is the molar specific heat of the mixture at constant volume? All right. For a monoatomic gas, you know, C1 is equal to 3 by 2 R, and C2 is equal to 5 by 2 R. Let's take that. For diatomic gas, it is now going to be, for monoatomic gas, this is for monoatomic. And this is for diatomic. So this is now going to be a mixture of gas with 1 mole of monoatomic gas. So ideal gas is mixed with 2 moles of diatomic gas. So the specific heat of the mixture is now going to be, now we can apply the formula we saw in the revision notes. So C is equal to 1 into C1 plus 2 into C2 divided by mu1 plus mu2. So 2 plus 2 plus 1, which is equal to, now C1, apply the values, 1 into 3 by 2 R plus 2 into 5 by 2 R divided by 3. After calculating this, you get 2.17 R. Let's see which option is correct. 2.17 R. So click that. Go to the next. 3 different gases, 1 monoatomic, 1 diatomic, and 1 triatomic, are expanded adiabatically under similar conditions. Their final and initial conditions are the same. The least amount of work is done in each in the case of which gas? All right. Let us quickly draw the graph and see. So it is an adiabatic expansion. and this is no. So this is for monatomic gas, this is for diatomic gas, and this is for triatomic gas. Right? The graph for three gases is shown. So this is now going to be P and this is now going to be V. So the graph for the three gases, which is now expanding adiabatically, is shown. Now the slope depends upon the value of gamma. So you can see triatomic gas has the least slope. Hence the work done is most in the case of the triatomic gas, then by the diatomic and the monatomic. So let's see which option is correct. Monatomic. So option D. He's asking least amount of work is done. So option D is correct. In the cylinder shown below, two pistons are connected by a string. Assume the piston can move freely. What happens when the gas trapped between the pistons are heated? So you can see piston 1 and piston 2. So the gas is trapped in between these two. What is now going to be what happens to the gas trapped between the pistons when they are heated? So let's quickly see that. So now you can see that the gas is heated now. The gas is getting heated. So that will increase the pressure. So once the pressure is increased, then that means it is now going to move the piston. Okay. So the movement of the piston is now going to be in such a way that the movement will increase the volume of the gas and thereby reduce the pressure. So the piston will move towards the right. So let us see which option is correct. Piston will move towards both the pistons will move towards the right. Option B is correct. Yeah. Click that and go to the next. In the given process, 1 by kth part of the supplied heat goes on raising in the internal energy of the gas. Find the molar specific heat of the gas and the process gives. So let us quickly solve that. Now you know NC dt by K is equal to F by 2 N R dt, where dt is the change in temperature, C is the specific heat, N the number of moles, and K is the constant, and F is the number of degrees of freedom. So can cancel. So dt and dt gets cancelled, N and N gets cancelled. So after we want only C, can cross multiply, that gives you K R. I'll bring this F by 2 down. Okay. So F by 2, or which is equal to just a second, children, KRF by 2. I can even write it this way. Yeah. So KRF by 2, which is nothing but KR by gamma minus 1. KR. So KR by gamma minus 1, you can see option C is correct. So click that, go to the next. Internal energy of a system remains constant when it undergoes, for cyclic process only, for isothermal process only, for adiabatic process only, any process in which the heat given out by the system is equal to the work done on the system. So internal energy, now you know internal energy depends only on the final and initial state of the system. Means it is 0 for the cyclic and isothermal process. So it is going to be 0 for the cyclic and isothermal process, because it is going to depend only on the initial and the final. So cyclic means it is now going to be a closed thing. So it is now going to be 0. However, in general, it is 0 for any process in which the heat is given out is equal to the work done on the system. So whenever the heat is given out is equal to the work done on the system, then we say there also it is now going to be 0. So we can say option D is correct. Any process in which heat is given out is equal to the work done on the system. So we can say that option is correct. Save that, go to the sixth one. The quantity mRT squared by rho of an ideal gas is proportional to square of pressure, square of volume, inverse of pressure, inverse of volume. All right. Let's quickly solve this. Now, you know, PV is equal to nRT. And M by M is equal to N, where M is now going to be the mass in grams and capital M. Remember, children, always M stands for mass in grams, and capital M stands for the molar mass. Remember that. So you shouldn't get confused between small m and the capital M. Small m always stands for the mass of the gas in grams, and capital M stands for the molar mass. So that is now going to be equal to mR T squared divided by P is equal to capital M squared P V squared by M. All right, let's see. So we can see that here it is MRT is now going to be, so here he's asking it is proportional, ideal gas is proportional to what? So it's now going to be proportional to, look at the question, MRT squared by rho is proportional to what? So it is now going to be proportional to MRT squared by rho. This is rho, children, not pressure. Rho is proportional to P, the pressure. Let's quickly. So the square of pressure, the square of the volume. Yeah. See, it is now going to be the square of the volume. So click that, go to the next, save that. Which of the following quantities depend on temperatures only for a given ideal gas? Which of the following quantities depends on the temperatures only for a given ideal gas? The ratio of pressure and density of the gas, internal energy of the gas, PV of the gas, all of the above. Let's quickly go into the formula, then only then you can see that. So now P is equal to dRT by M, which is equal to P by this, or if I bring this T here, I can say that P by D. From this we get P by D is equal to RT by, sorry, small m. Just a second, children. Yeah, RT by M. So this is equal to, so T for a given gas, you know, mu is equal to, for a given gas, mu is equal to NCV times T. Okay, NC, or you can put even R and M is now going to be a constant, right? So you can directly say that it is now going to be depending only on the moles and temperature. So it is now directly proportional to. So PV is equal to nRT is now going to depend upon the number of moles. So we can say it is now going to depend upon the now he's asking you, depends upon the temperature of it, the ratio of the pressure and the density of the gas, internal energy, PV of the gas, all of the above. So you can see that it is now going to be the ratio and the pressure and the density of the gas. All right. So option A is correct. Save that. Go to the next. Which of the following quantities depend on temperatures only on a given ideal gas? Density of a gas at given pressure, internal energy of 1 mole, both A and B, neither of them. So now you know D is equal to, now look at this, D is equal to PM by RT. At a given pressure density, you can see that it varies only with temperature. Also, you know that mu is equal to NCVT. For suppose N is equal to 1, then you can say mu is equal to CV into T. All right. So I'm sorry, children, it's not mu, it's U, the internal energy. I'm sorry, children, it's U, just the internal energy. Okay. Yeah. U is equal to CV into T, where in the, so from this it is clear that CV is going to be a constant. So the internal energy is directly proportional to the temperature. All right. So let's see which option is correct. So internal energy depends only on the internal energy. So the density, you can see that the internal energy depends only on temperature. So that means we can put it as, yeah, look at what did we get CV. So it is only the temperature, not the density. All right. So it doesn't depend, the internal energy depends upon the moles. Yes. So save that, go to the next. If a gas is made to expand in such a way that its final and initial temperature are equal, then which of the following statements cannot be true? Temperature remains constant, pressure remains constant, pressure increases and then decreases, pressure decreases and then increases. All right. So now you know, according to Boyle's law, PV is a constant. At any constant temperature, PV is equal to a constant. So this can be now represented by the graph, like say, you can say log P plus log. So let me write it here. So PV is equal to a constant. All right. So at constant temperature. So log of P plus log of V is equal to log K at any constant. So, so that will also become log K for a constant temperature. So this can be, so it, you can as well see that does not depend upon the Boyle's law. So you can say that which option is now going to be correct. So temperature remains a constant throughout. So if the gas is made to expand in such a way that it's okay. So it cannot be true. So it is so if the gas is made to expand in such a way that its final and initial pressure are equal, then temperature remains a constant throughout. Yeah, that is not going to be there. So if a gas is, the 10th question, if the gas is made to expand in such a way that pressure increases and its final and initial volumes are equal, then which of the following is true? You can see that the process is isochoric. Volume first increases and then decreases. None of volume first decreases and then increases. None of the above. All right. If the gas is made to expand in such a way that the pressure increases and its initial and final volumes are equal, then which of the following must be true? Let's quickly draw the graph and see, then you can understand it better. So you can represent the graph in either of these two ways. So either like this or like this, where I'm going to have the P in the y-axis and B in the x-axis. So now you can see the pressure need not be a constant. It can vary. Whenever the temperature is a constant, so the pressure can vary. So let's see. So the pressure can vary. It's now going to be an isochoric process. Option A is that. So save that. In a thermodynamic process, neon obeys the law T to the power of 2 by 5 is equal to a constant. If the temperature of 2 moles of gas is raised from T to 5T, then the heat given to the gas, that is, let us take consider that it is its behavior is ideal, was what? So the process can be repeated. Again, let me draw the graph so that you'll understand. Means now you can see the process can be repeated in any one of the following ways, that where the pressure increases and then decreases. So volume need not necessarily increase. So the decrease is now going to be a constant. So that means you can draw the graph. So either it is now going to be this way, or so it can also be this way. So it's clear that I'm sorry, children. Mistake. Now you can see that. Yeah, he says, look at the question properly. I mistook this. In a thermodynamic process, neon obeys the law Tp to the power of 2 by 5 is equal to constant. If the temperature of 2 moles of gas is raised from T to 5T, then the heat given to the gas is how much? Yeah, this is easy. Now it is given that Tp to the power of 2 by 5 is equal to a constant. All right. So that means delta Q is equal to 0. All right. Delta Q is equal to 0. So option B is correct. Save that. Go to the next. Which of the following statements is true about an ideal gas? Molecules are moving randomly in all directions in a container. Molecules of a gas collide with each, and the velocities of molecule the velocity of the molecules and the degree of freedom of a gas depends on the shape of the gaseous molecules. So let's see which is correct. Now, the kinetic theory of gases states that all the above facts can be correct. So kinetic theory says it states all the three. That is, molecules are moving at random motion, and then molecules of the gas can collide with each other, and the degrees of freedom of the gas depends on the shape of the gaseous molecules. So all the three should be correct. Option C. Click that. Go to the next. Which of the following quantities is larger for a diatomic gas than that of a monatomic gas? Let's quickly solve that. For a diatomic gas, Cp is equal to 7/2R and Cv is equal to 5/2R. So remember, children, you'll have to remember all this. Okay, you need not, otherwise you'll have to solve it and then derive it and then solve. So it is always better to remember or memorize this. So for a monatomic gas, this is for diatomic. So for a monatomic gas, it is now going to be Cp is equal to 5/2R and Cv is equal to 3/2R. So obviously, now see which can be the correct. Cp minus Cv can't be more. Cp by Cv also cannot be more. So Cp plus Cv will be giving you the a larger quantity, right? So Cp plus Cv should be the correct option. Save that. Go to the 14th one. For an ideal gas, average kinetic energy per degree of freedom is half RT. For an ideal gas, average kinetic energy per degree freedom is what? Let us solve that. Each gas, has 3 degrees of freedom of translational motion along X, Y, and Z axis. The average energy per degree of freedom for translation atomic gas is given by half kT. Okay? Translation motion is given by half kT per degree of freedom per gas atom, or half RT per degree of freedom per mole of the gas atom. Okay, so half RT, option A is correct. Save that. Now look, children. Actually, I mistook for the ninth one. Ninth one should have been a different one. Just see, this is actually, if a gas is made to expand in such a way that it is, let me again solve this, the ninth one. If the gas is made to expand in such a way that its final and initial pressure are equal, then which of the following statements cannot be true? Which of the following cannot be true? So here, as I told you, you can draw the graph either this way or this way. So it can be either straight graph like this or a curved graph like this. So let me take P to be this V. So here you can say that pressure need not be a constant throughout. I can take this SP. I'm sorry, this SP and this SP. B. So whenever volume is a constant, pressure need not be. If a temperature is constant, you can see that whenever the temperature is constant, gas equation says PV is equal to constant at constant temperature. So pressure need not be a constant throughout. Even if volume is changing, pressure is also going to change at constant temperature. It is now going to vary. So option A should be the correct. Yeah, we have done it correctly. So I mistook actually for can be true. So that was running in my mind. So it is now going to be A is the correct option. Now coming to the 15th question. So which of the following does not obey Boyle's law? Now see, which of the following does not obey Boyle's law? Now he has given the different graphs, graph 1, graph 2 and graph 3. Now, according to Boyle's law, PV is equal to constant at any constant temperature. Now, this can be represented by, now see, log P plus log V is equal to, log P plus log V is equal to log K, which is going to be a constant. So that is, see, log P and log V, that is now going to be a constant, right? So that's represented by the second graph. So graph 2 is correct. So click that and save that. All right. So now we have completed the test. So in the test, the results are loading. 3 incorrect questions. Let us quickly check what were the incorrect questions. I think I messed up in the middle. Let me see. Which of the following quantities depend on the temperature only for a given ideal gas? Let us see the explanation part. G is equal to Pm by RT at a given pressure. The density varies with temperature. So U is going to be the internal energy, N Cv times T, where N is equal to 1. So suppose if N is equal to 1, U is equal to Cvt, then you can say that internal energy depends on T. So the correct answer should be both the density and the temperature. So both A and B should be correct. I said only the internal energy. It is now going to be depending on T also. All right. So that was one wrong. Let us see the 10th question. If a gas is to be expanded in such a way that, I actually messed up the 8th, 9th, 10th question. So that's why it went off wrong. If a gas is made to expand in such a way that pressure increases and its final and initial volumes are equal, then which of the following statements must be true? Process is isochoric. We said the process is isochoric. Let's see what the explanation is. See, the process can be represented in any one of these ways where the pressure increases and then decreases. So volume need not necessarily increase, decrease or remain constant. So therefore D should have been the correct. None of the above should have been the correct option. So there also I went wrong. I said only the volume, I think. And the 15th one, which of the following does not represent Boyle's law? Let's see. So P is inversely proportional to V. So 2 and 3 graph are incorrect. So 2 and 3 graph are incorrect. So I said log, when we take log K and log, so that represents, you can see the graph here. See, this is not going to be a constant. It is always a curve only. So 2 and 3 should be the correct option, both, because we have taken here log P and log V. So this should be the correct option. D should have been. So both 2 and 3 graphs are. So option, when we take the logarithmic curve, it is not going to be the same. So 2 and, you can see the graph again. See, 2 and 3 should have been the correct option. Yeah. Both represents it. So this is now varying. That is not the correct option. So I went from 3 questions. So I just wanted you to know how to calculate how to verify the wrong answers also. So like this, you can go, even if your answers go wrong, you can as well click on that and verify your answer. But you can verify the explanation part. The green one says that you're done, you're correct. And the yellow one says we have not, everything is being answered, unanswered questions. If you have forgotten to save the answer, then that would have been a yellow block saying that you have unanswered. So this is how you access the test, children. Hope you understood how to go to the Class 6 website and get on the revision notes and access the physics questions. You can make use of the NEET revision notes, get it along, get it free along with any of one of the packages. So this is